Welcome to another Tiny Escapes Artist Adventure, where I take tiny escapes that won't break the budget or break up the marriage. I explore restorative health practices, eat a mostly plant-based diet, and I create craft on the go. I've been asked the question, should I start a YouTube channel when nearing retirement? I started my YouTube channel about a year ago with a fair bit of a break in there in the middle. So I can only talk from my personal experience. So why did I start my YouTube channel? Well, I had a thing called Psoas Syndrome, and your psoas is the muscles from your stomach all the way down and around your back. I had had 2 operations and I'd had a nerve blocker, and the doctors were talking pain management for the rest of my life, but there was no way that I was going to be doing nothing for the rest of my life. I couldn't do any sports. Everything I did made me nauseous and feel really, really sick. So I just kept trying everything I could until I found the answer. And the answer came in the form of a physiotherapist who had actually dealt with Psoas syndrome before, so knew what it was. In the meantime, I really, really needed greenery. So I started going out into greenery, but being the kind of person that I am, just sitting in greenery wasn't enough for me. I needed to do something while I was in greenery, and like out in the bush, out in the forest, I needed to be doing something. And I couldn't do any exercise. So I just started filming, and I started filming beautiful things, and then I started filming myself doing really great things or just being in nature. And it gave me a focus, and it allowed me to start to have a passion, because I was a little lost. Because of COVID, my tiny house business had shut down, and here I had this illness that didn't allow me to do anything. So that's how I started diving into the passion of having a YouTube channel. It's been such an incredible learning curve. I hope to one day be monetized. However, I'm making these videos because I love doing it. I love learning new things. I've always been interested in photography, but never had the time to take up photography. So I love the fact that I can be learning all of these things and making beautiful videos, and it's keeping my mind sharp. If you're looking at starting a channel to have it monetized, it's a lot of work. It's the long game. It's not very quick. You need to work on it for a long time. I've been doing this for just over a year, but like I said, I stopped for quite a few months in the middle when my mother passed away in Canada. I was still taking the footage, but I just didn't have it in me to do the editing and to put things up. So I simply took the footage of when my sisters and I went on holidays with my nephew and his partner, and his daughter and I went away, or just his daughter. And so I took the footage, but I just didn't have it in me to do the editing for a while. So that did affect the growth of my channel. I definitely know that. But that's not a really, really big problem. Now I'm posting more regularly, and so my channel is picking up again. On that point, if you could please like and subscribe and also hit the bell, then you'll know whenever I put up a new video. How many hours does it take to make a video? Well, on the majority of my videos, it's taking me now probably 30 hours to edit a video. That's not even with the filming, but it used to take me 60 hours. Now that doesn't necessarily need to be the case for you. I chose to go with Premiere Pro for editing, and that is deep dive stuff. That is really industry model, but I wouldn't suggest doing that. I wanted to be able to really make the best quality videos that I could, and in hindsight, Final Cut probably would have been just as good for me, but I'm really a kind of a 150% person, so I'm actually really happy with the way I'm making my videos. I've got a young man that I have working with me on Zoom, and he looks at my videos, and we actually work together on my screen. So when you press one button and you can't find the thing that you're looking for ages, he's able on my screen to put a little circle around it and say, just click on this button, and then all of a sudden it reappears. So my suggestion with that, if you decide to do that, make sure that you take lots and lots of notes. If you're not going to be looking at getting monetized, it's a really good idea just to make these videos for your brain. It's very good to have your brain learning something, especially as we get older. For memories, the beautiful things that you get to look back on, especially the videos I've done with my grandchildren in them, they love watching themselves in videos. And 10 years from now, I'll be loving watching myself in videos too. And also the passion. You know, if you finish off with your work and you don't really know what to do, but you have a passion about something, it's wonderful to share that passion with other people. So you're giving back to the community. Now, if you are not planning on becoming monetized from your YouTube channel, then make it something that you just enjoy doing, that where you post your videos every now and again. You use something like iMovie. I started by using iMovie or Final Cut or DaVinci. So there are different things that you can use to make your editing easier than the path that I have chosen. Having your own YouTube channel involves a number of things. The first 3 things are learning, learning, learning. You just have to keep on and on and on learning how to edit, how to film better. I mean, my first video with my drone, I was only able to get my drone up to here, and then I couldn't actually get it any higher. But that was a start. At least I got the drone up to there. It could film me face on, and then I learned how to actually get it into the air. Starting a YouTube channel can also involve your phone, camera, lighting, which I'm still not working out yet, the lighting. There's so many things that you can buy in order to create these videos, but you don't have to. You can start with a phone, you can start with an old camera. I started with an older camera. The drone we already had. It happened to be sitting at our house. My husband had it for his business. When his son came into the business, he bought a new drone. So we just had this drone sitting around the house that I had only used once, I think. So take a look around the house and see what you got. I know I got a bunch of different old GoPros, so they're also very useful. The other thing that you need to have when you're starting a YouTube channel is patience. It takes a lot to learn all of this stuff. And if you think you're going to grow immediately, then you might get discouraged and you might give up. I've done 37 videos since I've had my channel and had a couple of other videos that I had from earlier days. But with those 37 videos, my quality is getting better and better and better. My sound, which you can see right here, my sound is getting so much better. Looking back on the first videos, my sound was terrible. It was all over the place, really loud or really quiet. My filming is getting better. My drone work is getting better. My music choices and my editing. I like to choose to try to do one different thing on each video that I make. So that's a lot of fun. A different effect or adding something, maybe slideshows, something that's turning around. It might be a 3D thing. Might be something to do with time lapse or something on my camera that I'm learning. So every video I make, I try to have something new that I learn in making that video. I've mentioned the young fellow that works with me, but I've also done courses. I've done online courses. I've done a number of them. But what I found was for some of the online courses, and I'm still doing an online course, which is fantastic. Shout out to Project 24. Nate, I'm really enjoying doing that course. I'm also transitioning to having another channel that is all about retirement because I've got my solo female trips and I've got my retirement. Now, one of the things about having a channel is that it's meant that I actually do go away and I do solo trip. Even when I don't necessarily want to do a solo trip because it might be cold or wet, I'll make sure that I get out there, get everything organized, and actually do a solo trip. Now, when I'm out there, I'm always grateful that I took the time and the effort to actually get out on a solo trip. And if it weren't for having my channel, I probably wouldn't just go off and do a solo trip on my own. So it's given me the motivation to take myself out of my comfort zone and to go some really, really beautiful places. So it's almost an extrinsic motivation, and I kind of need extrinsic motivation. I don't do things enough for myself like I should. So I love the fact that I have this behind me. Looking into the retirement realm, we were retired for 1 month, I must qualify, and then we had to come back for work reasons, and hopefully we'll be retired again soon. So in that 1 month of being retired with my husband, one of the things I noticed was that we both still needed interests of our own. So we do an awful lot of sport and we may be sporting ourselves to death, but then at some point we come back and we have a little bit of a rest, and it's really nice for him to go off and do his things that he's interested in and me to have my channel and do the things that I'm interested in. It doesn't mean I'm going to film everything we do together, and I know that the filming that I do when I'm with my husband is much more on the fly. When I'm filming by myself, I take a lot more time to set up the shots and set up the drone shots, which is why I really still will love to do my solo travel, because then it's all about the filming and it's about the shots that I can get in the scenery. So I still love doing my solo travel. So in the end, even though I'm not yet monetized, but even if I don't, I haven't quit a job to do this. I healed up from Psoas Syndrome, but now because my husband was supposed to be retiring, I didn't take on another job. I was a teacher, a high school language teacher for many, many years. Then I was a health coach, and then I had business building tiny houses with the focus of older single women. I'm the type of person who needs to have a passion. By having my channel, I still have a passion. But like when my mother passed away, if I didn't need to post, it was up to me. It's entirely up to me. So my suggestion is don't quit your day job. And if you want to start a channel, do the very best that you can and try it out. Take lots of courses and keep persevering. Because at only 37 videos, they say it takes up to 100 videos before you decide whether or not this is really something you want to do. I hope to be like the woman who is in her 80s, who is still posting, and she's a beautiful woman. I'll link her below because I love her channel. So I hope to be doing, I hope in 20 years I'm saying, oh look, there's a video of me when I was almost 60. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll get back to you.